The aim of this video is to give you an introduction to Citect and Citect Trend. So once you've opened Citect Runtime, you'll have a range of operator screens at the top of the page. So in this instance we've got our single loop level control selected. I'm going to select single flow control. First thing is I'll then turn on this page. Now in terms of what we're looking at, we've got our flow process variable, we've got our set point, which I can actually rise and lower manually, or I can hover over the set point control and enter in a figure such as 50%. I'm going to take this back to 0. In the same way with our valve position, we can open and close our valve, we can start and stop our VSD manually, or we can do it by selection and entering the value. So I've selected our VSD to be 100%. We now see that we've got some flow going through our rig because our VSD is running and we have our valve open very slightly. I'll close the valve. Next we have a series of selection buttons. Clicking this on will actually put us into auto mode, so it's closed loop and our set point will take control. Turning it off and we're in manual. Bumpless transfer switch on allows you to move from auto control to manual without significant system shock. We'll leave that on. Reverse, that's a inverse logic, so when the valve or the flow rate increases, the valve will close. We won't be using this, so just make sure that is off. Controlling to VSD, when this is selected, our control state is through the VSD. When it's off, red, our control is through the valve. In this instance I'm going to set us up to operate with bumpless transfer and controlling with the valve, so red. I'm now going to enter in some numbers, rough numbers for P and I in our controller, and select 50% midpoint, go to auto, and our processor will now attempt to control with those proportional and integral values. To look at how good our tune is, we might actually move between 20 and 80%, which is effectively the full operating range of our loop. I'm going to take us back to 50% and now have a look at our trend screen. On the trend screen we will see both upper and lower trends. They are both monitoring real live time, but they may have different pens selected. Just looking at the top one, this current one is paused. I can hit real time and play, and first across the top we have pens and our pen color. So when I have pen 1 selected, that gives me tells me that I'm looking at flow, yellow valve trend, red VSD, blue single flow set point, and so on. I can delete and add pens. In this instance I'm going to delete wild flow and add in a cascade flow set point from our list. I now have Cascade Flow set point as one of my pen options in this top screen. Going back to flow, my green, I can in fact analyse my flow rate and numbers in more detail. With this area on the top left hand side, I can turn on an indicator pen, and it will then show me the exact time in hours, minutes, seconds and parts of seconds, and the value of my flow rate. So if I just pause this, move forward, I can see that at this point in time I have a flow process value of 48.6 at 15 hours, 13 minutes, 52.677 seconds. I can roll that back and look and see at any point what my process value is and at what time that occurred. This information will become very useful to you later on when you're doing open loop bump, but more of that later. In terms of screen introduction, we also have down the right hand side a scaling, 0 to 100% in this case. We can change this. I can select it to operate over 0 to 50% for this current trend pen, and zoom in. Alternatively, I can zoom in or zoom out with these buttons. So I've gone to 37.5%. Hitting the negative will take me back out to my 100% value. I can also change my times. At this point where it is stopped, the end time was 3:15:48. I can in fact take that back to say 3:05:48 and see what the results were at that time. We can also change the width of our screen. Default is 3 minutes and 36 seconds. We may well want to look at this over a longer period of time. I can change to 10 minutes and 36. Finally, we have our forward, rewind, fast forward and real time. So I can go back in small steps or in larger steps to look at my trends and results. Then when I wish to go back to real time, I press that. This is your introduction to Citect.